always important characteristics. So I know that our team is really excited to play. We were disappointed that it wouldn't be 3 games out here. But I think that they are hopeful that on Sunday we're going to get to play somebody, if not South Carolina, then someone else, and hopefully them, and then move on to South Dakota. And so we're just happy to play, and I think that they have a good mentality about them, and they're along for the ride like the rest of us, I think, this year. So I think we're happy to be out here and ready to go.
I assume that in the tournament, I assume that in preparations for this tournament, you had also scouted South Carolina ahead of their game on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, we have, those are all divvied up. So our coaches have been working on all of them. But we did see that game. I know that we looked into that one a little bit, but we've been looking at film from last season because we knew we were going to end up playing them anyway. We've been scouting all 3 of those teams for a week or 2. Mostly at this time we're worrying about ourselves because there's new personnel, there's new, things are different. But yes, we had scouted them some, Jim. You want to know what I thought?
Next question is for Keith.
Hey, Coach, happy Thanksgiving. Just how thankful are you to be able to play a game, and how much is your team looking forward to just getting the escape to be out on the floor and actually play a basketball game?
I think a lot. There's a lot been happening this year on and off the court, more than in some years, or more than probably any year for these guys who are, 18, 19, 20. Some of us have seen, I don't know if any of us have seen crazier years, maybe some of us, but for these guys, they're just happy to be ready to play. We were on the plane today, and that's, even though we have these masks and goggles we got to wear, it's the most normal thing we've done in a long time, and so they're really grateful for that. Happy to be out here with each other. We have a group that's pretty focused on, the fact that we're really lucky in what we get to do every day, and that doesn't pass them by at all.
All right. I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but the next question comes from Karthik.
You nailed it. So it actually turned out just fine. Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask you, now with the schedule shift, you guys got quite the different challenge to open up the season playing the top-ranked team in the country. Doesn't really get much more difficult than that. How have you guys been preparing? What have you been telling the team about, this new challenge?
It doesn't, I haven't talked too much about the fact that now we have something that's not what we had planned for. Obviously, we were thinking we were going to get them on Monday after we'd played 2 games on the floor, or 2 games back since our last season ended, and things change, and we're used to that now. And so we're not talking necessarily about that. We're talking about how we got to guard the dribble, and we got to defend the paint, and we got to rebound and run good offense, and be crisp. I'm not overemphasizing the fact that they're the number 1 team in the country, because it really doesn't matter. They're going to be a team in a different color jersey than us, and we're going to have to play well if we want to win. And if not, we're going to play well and learn from it and move on. And so those things don't change based on who we're playing or what we think the outcome may be, or what order the game's going to be in. It's all the same to us, to be honest with you. So really, it's just shifted a little bit from talking about defending some of Oklahoma's players to how to defend some of South Carolina's players.
To get to open up the season against such a high-quality opponent, how exciting is that for you to, I guess, see where your team stands right off the bat against one of the better teams in the country, though?
Yeah, I'm just glad to be able to play these games, to be honest with you. We were, for a while, not able to schedule anybody, to be honest, like literally nobody. And so to get 2 high-quality games like this out here is something that our program needs. We try for that every year, and we thought that we were unsure if we were going to be able to fill a full roster, a full schedule, regardless of who they were. So to have this caliber of an opponent is something from a coach's perspective that I'm really excited about. I think I know what we need to work on, but after this weekend, we'll know even more, and that will just help us going forward. So it's great. It's part of the plan. It's what we always like to do. I typically would have a couple games prior to something like this, if possible, but that's not what this year's like. So I'm really excited to see exactly how well we can guard and what we can do offensively, and how we stick together and all those things.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Next question comes from Brenna.
Hi, Coach. You guys, obviously have experience playing competition of this caliber in the past with, Stanford, and then also you played Notre Dame in a holiday tournament like this one a few years back. Is there just anything that you have learned from those experiences that you're going to take into this game?
I would just say that we've learned that it's early, which means that it's also early for our opponents, but it also means that it's early for us. So really, each of these games, you just have to be ready to go and give your best for, November 27th, 28th, it'll be the 29th, I guess, when we play. So we're just trying to be that best team, which is probably not going to be as good as our team's going to be in March, but we can still be pretty good. It's also early for them. Everyone's kind of dealing with the same types of things. And so you just have to go into each game thinking that you're going to do whatever you can to affect your team in a positive way and do our best is really the takeaway that we've had, because we've played early against good teams and played really well, and we've played early against good teams and struggled, and vice versa against teams that weren't quite as highly regarded. So we just really, especially this year, Brenda, we're talking more about controlling what we can than ever before. And we always talk about it quite a bit, to be honest with you. But this year it's just a whole new deal. And so do our best as we can on this day.
We'll take a question from Keith.
Hey, Coach. So, compare South Carolina's team from last year to this year, obviously losing Ty Harris and Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, but what are the challenges that they specifically present for your team?
I would just say, their transition game is really good. They're big and physical. I think they play a little bit more physical than we're used to seeing. We try to simulate that the best we can. We're going to have to defend penetration, and they've got a lot of players who can be disruptive to our defense if we let them do what they want. Obviously, Boston's a problem for everybody. So we're going to have to figure out what we can do best about her. But I would say those would be the big things: transition defense, drill penetration, rebounding.
Any final questions for Coach before we let her go? All good? All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Yep.